Hello Mistweavers, here's how I heal Candle King on a plus 21. I get a lot of questions about this boss, and the truth is that it's very hard to boil down to just a few tips. This boss challenges every aspect of your healing toolkit: cooldown management, defensive coordination, mana management, healing amps, etc. In this video, I will walk you through all of it, everything you need to know to heal Candle King as a Mistweaver. First, let's talk high level about our plan to heal this boss. This is a rot fight, meaning there is constant damage intake throughout the entire fight. To counter this, we must produce the highest overall effective HPS throughout the encounter. We do not need to do large bursts of healing. So, our goals are: spread out our cooldowns as evenly as possible, get as many uses of our cooldowns as possible, avoiding wastage, use active healing effectively during healing amp windows, and avoid overhealing. With that in mind, let's look at my build in Dark Flame Cleft. Firstly, I always run Gift of the Celestials, 1 minute GG, and not Jade Bond, which is 2 minute GG. This is the higher coverage choice. Jade Bond leaves you with too long a gap with no large CD. Secondly, I always run Mending Proliferation over Legacy of Wisdom. This talent is very strong, producing much more HPS than Legacy of Wisdom. I've been running this talent lately in nearly every dungeon, but it's especially powerful in rot fights, and especially with Conduit of the Celestials. It has very strong synergy with Rising Mist and Mistrap, creating long-lasting 40% healing amps. I'm going to call it MendyP for the rest of the video because Mending Proliferation is way too long a name. Thirdly, for my hero talent choice, I run Conduit of the Celestials for this boss. Compared to Harmony, Conduit has a flatter healing profile with good passive healing, a solid active to bridge the Chi-Chi gaps. Most importantly, it gives you huge CDR on important spells, giving you more RSKs and TFTs, which leads to more Jade empowerments and higher Secret of Fusion uptime. This is perfect for our goal of high coverage. Finally, Strength of the Black Ox is already a strong HPS node on its own, but it also synergizes very well with MenDP, reducing the number of enveloping mists you need to hard cast. Side note here, Master of Harmony can be used to heal this key at the highest level, but I find Conduit to be strictly superior in this fight, and I will be focusing on that in this video. Lastly, I always take Energizing Brew since you will go if you do not drink Mana Tea. With the build sorted, let's move on to gameplay. Let's talk about our major healing cooldowns. These are Chi-Chi, Celestial Conduit, Life Cocoon, Jade Empowered Lightning, and Revival. Whenever optimizing for HPS, our main cooldown is Chi-Chi. Use it at the moment you start taking damage in this fight. Perform the standard Chi-Chi rotation: Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick, Enveloping Mist, Rising Sun Kick. After your first use, continue to use it on cooldown. Celestial Conduit bridges the gap between Chi-Chis. You will get 2 uses this fight, between your first and second Chi-Chis and between your third and fourth Chi-Chis. Remember that Conduit will not do a ton of HPS on its own. It does slightly more than a Jade Empowered Lightning over the same duration. However, it also reduces the cooldown of your Rising Sun Kick and Thunder Focus to your 2 highest priority spells, as well as your Life Cocoon CD. So try to have these 3 spells on cooldown before using Conduit. It also gives you a free proc of Strength of the Blackhawks, which we will cover soon. For Life Cocoon, you have 2 choices on how to use it. One, you can use it defensively as an emergency button. Do this if you're confident in your overall HPS, but you're worried about one player dying to the throw Dark Flame drops for more flexibility. Or you can use it offensively as an HPS cooldown after your first Chi-Chi but before your Celestial Conduit. This should net you 3 uses in the fight, increasing your overall HPS. Ideally, give it to your squishiest party member when they have low HP, but otherwise just send it. I generally go with the more defensive option of using it as an emergency button, but if I'm pushing cutting edge keys and I'm worried about my overall HPS, I might use the second offensive option. Jade Empowered Lightning is your main source of moderate healing outside of Chi-Chi. Its usage is very flexible, so you should put a lot of thought into when you send your lightning. You want to use it when your healing amps are out. You do not want to use it when your group is super healthy because you want to avoid overhealing with it. Most importantly, you never want to overcap on charges. Finally, be careful about using lightning shortly before a new wax drop, since the knock can interrupt your lightning, which would be devastating. Use Revival as an emergency button, since you will likely only get 1 use this fight. Generally, the best time is between your second and third Chi-Chi when Conduit is down, but feel free to use it earlier or later to make up for mistakes or mispositioning. Your goal is to use it for catch-up when your entire group is injured to avoid overhealing. Outside of your cooldowns, your rotation will consist of healing app generation, active healing, and maintenance healing. Let's dive into each rotational spell. Enveloping Mist is central to this build, and having at least 1 out is key because of the wonderful talent Mending Proliferation. One single EM can proc Mendy Ps on your entire party, and the duration of these Mendy Ps is determined by the duration of the enveloping mist that spread them. Two EMs will generate Mendy Ps faster, but be aware of this very important fact. Mendy P never procs on a target that already has an enveloping mist. This has two important implications. One, outside of Chi-Ji, there is no point in having more than 1 to 2 EMs out, and two, a player who already has a Mendy P is a great target for an EM. Conduit of the Celestials has this wonderful proc node, Strength of the Blackhawks, that gives us a fast EM and incentivizes us to use it by attaching a party-wide small shield to it. This is literally perfect for the build. So here's what you do. 1. Consume your Strength of the Blackhawks procs with extremely high priority, ideally on someone with Mendy P. 2. Extend the EM twice with Rising Sun Kick as soon as possible. By following this and simply consuming your procs and using your free EMs during Chi-Ji, you end up with very high Mendy P uptime, which is a huge amount of healing. Rising Sun Kick is your highest priority spell at all times as it does everything you want. Generate a healing amp, extend your EMs, and do good healing. Only skip it for a Strength of the Blackhawks proc or active healing that will prevent someone from dying. Thunder Focus Tea should be used on cooldown. Even if you don't consume it immediately, you want to get it recharging as soon as possible. Use it on either Rising Sunkick or Enveloping Mist with the following logic. If you have no EMs out, use TFT on EM. With MenDP, it's important to have at least one EM out at all times. If you have an EM out, use TFT on Rising Sunkick. This will extend the EMs and give you the best Secret Infusion buff versatility. Outside of cooldowns and Blackhawks procs, your default state should be performing your maintenance healing. Maintain both Jadefire Teachings and Jadefire Stomp buffs, and do the standard rotation, Rising Sun Kick, Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick. I spend about 50% of my GCDs here. Jadefire Stomp actually does decent healing, so aim it towards allies while keeping it in an area you'll be standing when the boss moves. Ideally, your group is simply stacked on the boss, which makes it easy for you to hit them all. Vivify is a terrible spell if you cast it naked, but a very strong spell if you cast it with buffs on a target with several healing amps. Make sure to track Vivacious Vivification, Zen Pulse, and August Dynasty, and aim to use instant Vivifies on injured targets with at least one healing amp to get big value from this GCD. Since this is one of your only targeted healing spells, use it for spot healing on low health targets to even out health bars. It's not the highest overall HBS spell, but a few well-timed Vivifies will completely change this fight. I cast Vivify around 10 times per fight. Expel Harm is similar to Vivify in that you want to use it on healing amps while avoiding overhealing. The only extra thing is to take advantage of Strength of Spirit by only using Expel Harm when you are quite low on health. I cast Expel Harm about 5 times per fight. It's a very situational spell, so you might use it more or less. The only purpose of Renewing Mist is to apply Key Harmony. That's right, forget completely about its healing over time. In fact, in my UI, I only track the Key Harmony healing app. I don't bother tracking Renewing Mist at all. Key Harmony only lasts 8 seconds, so use this spell sparingly, only when you know you will be doing heavy healing to the target in its duration. The best use case for this is for healing through the absorbs from the debuffs. Try to get a Key Harmony on all 3 players targeted by Throw Dark Flame. You can also cast this before a spot healing Vivify or before a Lightning. I cast Renewing Mist about 10 to 15 times in this fight. Since you are not running Legacy of Wisdom, Shailun's Gift is actually very easy to use. All you care about is the Shao House buff. Simply cast Shailuns between 7 to 10 stacks when you can afford a 2-second cast. Cast it on an injured ally, but do not treat it as a healing cooldown. A quick note on Soothing Mist. Avoid using this spell unless absolutely necessary to save one person who is very low on health, while the rest of the group is healthy. Casting it will set you behind. I've mainly talked about the rot healing in this fight, and that is where you should put most of your mental energy. If you can keep your group healthy at all times, the debuffs will be easy to deal with. The first step is to have your group near topped when the debuffs go off, since they hit quite hard. The second step is to heal through the healing absorbs. Luckily, you have a few seconds of respite after the absorbs go out, so it's not extremely urgent. Try having Key Harmonies out on each member as the absorbs go out, and use some active healing after, such as Lightning, Vivify, or Expel Harm. The best time to use your defensives are when you get a debuff. Cycle through Fort Brew and Diffuse the moment you're assigned a debuff, and you're not completely topped. You probably won't have enough defensives to last the entire fight, and so you will have drops where you do not have a defensive. Now that you know what to do, let's watch me do it in practice. Here's me fighting Candle King on a +20. I get a Black Ox proc quickly, which I send immediately. I then set up my Chi-Ji and use it the moment we start taking damage. I use Thunder Focus Tea with Rising Sun Kick to extend my Enveloping Mist twice to start generating Mendy-Ps. I'm in the first round of debuffs, so I use Fort Brew, send a Key Harmony, then Shao House at 8 stacks for Anger into a Lightning to remove the absorbs.
Got the middle one.
Stack up on Squish after.
Then it's back to maintenance healing. I get another Black Ox proc, which I once again extend with a TFT RSK. I use Conduit as planned, which will keep us healthy until my next Chi-Ji. For the second round of debuffs, we're very healthy, so I hold my Diffuse Magic, get Key Harmonies on each player, and heal them off with a big Expel Harm and Vivify. Since I don't have any EMs out, and I haven't been blessed with a proc, I use TFT on Enveloping Mist. I still extend it immediately, providing nice healing until my second Chi-Ji. I use Cocoon on my Hunter, who is very low, and then Chi-Ji into the third set of debuffs, where again I hold my Diffuse since I'm in Chi-Ji, and again I heal off the absorbs with an Expel Harm and a Vivify.
Yep.
We now enter the scariest part of the fight, where I have no Chi-Ji or Conduit. I Shaden's Gift at 6 stacks, which is maybe a mistake, but not a terrible one since I lack any other cooldowns. I keep up an Enveloping Mist and send a couple Lightnings to keep the group healthy. I get a debuff again, and I'm very glad I held Diffuse Magic for it since I'm less healthy this time. I heal off the debuff with Revival, which is fine since I get good value off it, but maybe wasn't needed. We are now in a period of 20 seconds with no Chi-Ji, no Conduit, no Cocoon, and 7 seconds on our TFT. So we are spooked. I communicate this to my team, who use some defensives and Rallying Cry to help me out. I continue maintenance healing, weaving in some high value active healing along with a health pop. A Black Ox proc into a TFT RSK keeps us going until my next Chi-Ji, where I can breathe again as my cooldowns return. Chi-Ji carries for a while. I use a Tempered Potion here, which is much better than a Mana Potion since you can simply drink Mana Tea with Energizing Brew. Fort Brew returns for the debuffs, and I heal through the absorbs with a Lightning.
One person. Getting back orange.
Oops.
Move.
In this next set, I actually run out of Enveloping Mists, and in retrospect, I probably should have hardcasted one, since I'm out of healing apps completely. But Conduit keeps us healthy until the next Chi-Ji despite this. I get a really nice Lightning here into the healing absorbs, with many healing amps out. It does 26 million healing.
Health potting.
And back to maintenance healing. Notice how I step back a little to cast Jadefire Stop to hit the whole group. This is a nice little min-max you can do. Life Cocoon keeps my rogue alive until Chi-Ji, and we are once again very powerful, trivializing the healing absorbs.
Vex. I have nothing, so.
Yeah, I'll try to top you. Should be fine.
Yeah.
Nice.
No.
2 lightnings. Should be fine. We get another drop though, it's kind of spooky, I guess. Anchor first.
We don't.
2 lightning charges easily keep us healthy here for the next few seconds, and the boss falls over before the next set of debuffs. We've vanquished Candle King on a plus 20. Bring on the 21. And that's how I heal Candle King on a plus 21. If you only take one thing from this video, remember that in rot fights, consistent healing is key. You want to have something available most of the time. If this helped you, be sure to leave a like. If you have any questions, drop a comment, or better yet, join my Discord where we have hundreds of active members. Good luck out there, Mistweavers.